Great, thank you very much. My name is Drew Greenblatt. I'm the owner of Marlin Steel. We were established in 1968. I bought the company in 1998. When you started, Rob, you mentioned the fact that Manufacturing Matters, a book you read. Uh, it is the real deal. The average manufacturing employee makes $73,000 a year. That does not include benefits. Benefits are in addition to that. In my company, we have Blue Cross Blue Shield, holiday vacation. We pay 100% if they go back to college or get an associate's degree or get a master's degree. They have to get a good grade. They can't take basket weaving or anything like that. But these are the kinds of benefits that are pretty commonplace, and of course a 401k plan, that are pretty commonplace in manufacturing. So these are really good jobs, and you don't necessarily have to be a high school graduate, or you don't necessarily have to be a PhD to get one of these jobs. So these are the kinds of jobs that our country needs, and these are the kind of jobs that create a middle class. And this is why this topic is so very important. Couple topics. Most of the companies, when people think factories, they think huge smokestack, 5,000 employees. That's not really the average American factory. The average American factory is a peanut. 15 employees, 20 employees. They're not big, they're tiny. And that's where the MEP really helps, because it's focused in on the little guy. And the little guy, there's a lot of us. And if each one of us were to hire a handful of employees, 2, 3 employees, recession's going to be over. So that's why this topic is so very important. We make everything in the USA, in Baltimore City. We're in a rough section of town, and we export to 35 countries. And most proud that we export to China and Taiwan, but we also export to Singapore, New Zealand. My salesmen were up late last night negotiating a big deal with Australia. Exports are critical, and it's very important. President Obama came out with an initiative a year ago that he wants to double exports in the next 5 years. Connecting the dots for a little company with 15 employees, 20 employees, that's a great place for an MEP to help, because an MEP can explain the value of exporting and making President Obama's vision a reality. Got to remember, 95% of the world's consumers are outside our shores. Only 5% are Americans. So it's a huge market we have to pursue. Most American factories don't export, or they may export to one country, maybe two. They don't export to many. I thought Stephen did a wonderful job with this report. On page 16, there was a really neat slide describing value added per employee. That's really important for factories. For the little guy, we've got about 120, 150 grand in value added per employee. That's a very important number, okay? That's the juice that lets us reinvest, okay? Whether it's a new robot, a quality system, a marketing campaign, adding Blue Cross Blue Shield rather than, a lesser quality plan. That's where where the rubber meets the road. If we can boost that number up, then we'll have more funds, we can be more resilient, and we'll be more aggressive in hiring more people. In my case, when I bought the company, we sold bagel baskets in 1998, and it was a good business for 30 years. The company thrived doing that, and it was a tremendous blow to me and my company when two things occurred. China figured out how to commoditize bagel baskets, which is a very bad place to be, because they were bringing in bagel baskets into Manhattan for cheaper than I could buy steel. That makes for a very bad market proposition. We were getting killed by the Chinese. Second thing that happened, I don't know if you recall this time, there was a fad diet called the Atkins diet. That's the last place you want to position your business to be if you're the world's biggest bagel basket manufacturer. So we were devastated, and we had to transform. And I think this is a little bit what, again, back to Stephen's report, where we were in that low-end commodity portion of the world where you rank the 4 different levels of technology. We were in the very bottom bracket there, and making bagel baskets by hand, welding one at a time, the day I bought the company, everybody was minimum wage. The health insurance plan was you go to the emergency room, and there was no retirement. Nobody owned a car except me. So now we're a very different company. The average employee is making 60, 70 grand a year, where they all have health insurance, their 401k, etc. So how do you get more companies to make that transformation up? MEPs could be a catalyst, could be a way to enlighten these 15, 20, 30 person companies to get to that next level. But when you look at this report, you see some fascinating things. Now, our factory, our manufacturing space is much bigger than Germany. We're bigger than Japan. But on page 4, it shows that our MEP program has a mere 1,300 employees. However, in Germany, with a couple of their different groups together, they're 18,000. They have a smaller manufacturing economy than we do. They have, more than 12, 14 times the number of boots on the ground than we do, meeting with the SMEs. Japan, by the way, is 6,000. They also have a smaller manufacturing economy. So that was an important thing that struck me. I think the migration is a good idea. In the past, a lot of MEPs focused on lean manufacturing, continuous improvement. These are good things. These are helpful things. These make a factory more competitive, which is what we need. But I think the leap or the aspiration to migrate towards more of an innovation approach, more new product development, finding new clients, finding new markets, that approach is very helpful, because when you're a 15-person company or a 20-person company, you're running around full steam, trying to make payroll, ordering steel, in my case, ordering steel, or making sure the phone system works, working with suppliers and clients. There's a lot going on. So slowing down and figuring out, hey, we got to innovate. Hey, slowing down, we got to create a new product so we differentiate ourselves, I think is intrinsic. And this is, again, where MEPs can help. I thought the study was good because it pinpointed, highlighted several really innovative techniques that other countries are doing that I think we should consider. And I'll go through a couple of them. Page 22, in Germany, the Steinbeis Center. They have a neat program where they transfer the existing know-how in the education world and in other industries to the little guys. I thought that was slick. I mean, like, you take my city, Baltimore City. We have the world's best, many could argue, the world's best medical program. I mean, we have Hopkins. It's a tremendous asset for my city. Unfortunately, I think a lot of Hopkins doctors come up with these really innovative ideas. They get a patent, and then it's made over in China, or made in Mexico. Okay, well, that's crazy. I mean, if we could make it in Baltimore City, we could hire a lot of unemployed steelworkers. Okay, so I think this kind of migration of really smart ideas coming out of our universities, if they can be funneled through our own factories, I think that would be good for our economy. And it sounds like Germany's onto something with that. And I thought that was a nice highlight. In page 20, okay, a couple others. The Brandenburg program in page 25, where they place PhDs with various factories for 2 years and cover 50%. That was a wonderful program. The innovation voucher on page 31, where they talk about the cooperative project with R&D and technology. Over in Canada, the Design Industry Advisory, another good program. The bottom line is, I think we have to focus on that Mittelstand, what's going on in Germany, where 80% of the production is exported. There's 1 million workers in Germany. That middle portion of their factory base, 80% of their production is exported because they're so competitive, so innovative. And we have to do more of that. I think my favorite quote in your document is by Dr. Jockel on page 43, where he talks about where we have to go in the future of MEPs and helping out SMEs. So in summary, I think manufacturing extension services are vital for our nation and for our SMEs. And I think the main theme of this report is that other countries are getting serious, and we're behind the game, and we have to do the same in the future. Thank you.
Drew, thanks so much. That was great.
Okay. Yeah, well, I got slides. So
Okay.
Let me slide up here. Okay. Get those on. Very good.